Yeah.
Good evening. I'd like to call this Wednesday, September 13th, 2023 meeting of the City of Manassas Park Planning Commission to order. The time is 7 p.m. My name is Lester Finkel. Sitting this evening are John Evans, Alana Mensing, and Michael Beckett's. First order of business is a moment of silence and the Pledge of Allegiance. I will do that this evening. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, the next order of business is the approval of the agenda. If there are no changes to the agenda this evening, is there a motion to approve the agenda as is?
Moved.
Motion, second?
Second.
Second. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Next order of business is the adoption of minutes from the August 9th, 2023 meeting. I just had one change I've offered. Are there any other changes? Would anyone care to make a motion to adopt the minutes as amended?
Moved.
Motion, second?
Second.
Second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries unanimously. Any members of the public here present to speak this evening?
Minutes?
This is just in general, if there was any members of the public present to speak generally. Okay, very good. Seeing none, I'll move along. Tonight's business, we have site plan SP number 23-02, Hercules Fence. And we have the applicant here to speak this evening. So at this time, I'd like to call the applicant forward, and if you will offer your name and affiliation. And yes, please, go right ahead.
Okay.
And if you say your name and affiliation, and then you may begin the presentation. Thank you.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Jeremy Carls. I work for Rinker Design Associates, a civil engineering firm here in Manassas. And I am the applicant of the Hercules Fence redevelopment plan and the representative for Hercules Fence today. The development is located at 8194 Euclid Court in Manassas Park. It's indicated here at the red dot shown on the screen. That is east of Route 28, north of Manassas Drive, west of the General Ridge Golf Course, or what used to be the General Ridge Golf Course, and it's adjacent to Manassas Park High School. More specifically, the development is located in the Connor Center Industrial Park, and as you can see, adjacent to the property, it's pretty dense industrial uses. The existing development as it is today, at the bottom here is Euclid Court. The front of the building is the existing parking for customers and for the employees. The square part of the building is their office, and the rectangle part is the warehouse. Behind the building is outdoor storage, and in the back corner here is a regional pond to the Connor Center. So the purpose of this redevelopment plan is that ownership came to me and said that they have a growing business and they're outgrowing this particular property. So we joined with a commercial real estate agent, and we searched properties in the city of Manassas, Manassas Park, Prince William County, all for industrial lots. And after searching for over a year, we found that the industrial lots in and around Northern Virginia are expensive and they're in limited supply due to data center growth. So he came back to me and said, we really want to stay in Manassas Park, We really want to make this property work. How can we make it work to meet our business needs? And so I said that, what they wanted was they wanted additional office, they wanted some additional warehouse, and really what was most important to them was the additional outdoor storage. And so there was no real issue providing additional office. As when I first looked at it, there was no real issue with providing additional warehouse. The issue really was the outdoor storage, and as you can see, they're using all of it. So the only real option that we had was to take the back corner of their site, which has a regional pond, which is on their property, pave over it and provide an underground detention facility. And so that's what we did. That's what the plan that we submitted does. We provided better parking to meet their customers' needs and to provide ADA requirements. We added a second floor to their office, so they had more office space, and then an additional bay in the back for warehouse use. So that covered all of the building needs and the parking needs in front. Outdoor storage in the back. Sorry, can you hear me when I turn, or is it? Okay, sorry. We expanded over the regional pond and provided more outdoor storage in the back, all paved, and replaced the regional pond with an underground detention facility. And this meets the needs that they asked for. So generally, this plan there's not much to it. The biggest thing is the replacement of the pond, and so I want to just go a little bit further into that. The existing pond, as it sits today, the regional pond, is on their property, and it's deeded to Manassas Park for maintenance purposes only. So they don't own it, they can't use that part of the property, they're only allowed to maintain the pond. The pond was built over 30 years ago. The access to the pond, because of the dense industrial use, is difficult to get to, and so the pond was maintained. But over 30 years, it's getting old. So I don't know if you guys can see these pictures real well. This is the pond looking back away from, maybe I can see. Back looking away from the outfall structure. The outfall structure actually discharges into Manassas Park High School. This is a picture looking towards the outfall structure. And these two pictures are of the outfall structure. So today, the pond, the way that it functions is water goes over the top, and it's supposed to go through a small orifice and pipe for smaller storms, but there's so much sediment in there that the pipe is buried. So it doesn't function well. As the water enters the pond, what it actually does is it gets into the outfall pipe that is broken right here, so the water goes into the pond and kind of out of the pond. So what we're proposing with this development is it's called an ADS Storm Tech Chamber Facility. This is a facility that is approved by Virginia DEQ for water quality and quantity. And so we have designed this particular facility to exceed the requirements of the Virginia DEQ. We have exceeded the water quality portion by 20%. The quantity portions vary, but we've exceeded them. And we've also gone above and beyond and designed it to something called energy balance, which takes in factors for very small storms, the 1-inch storm. And that decreases flow, volume, and it applies an improvement factor to it. So the pond, as far as it releases into the city of Manassas Parks High School, that water will be, with this plan, will be less flow, less volume, better water quality. And so the only other thing I want to mention is if we had decided to take the existing pond and retrofit it to today's standards, that particular facility would not meet the requirements of the water quality. This particular facility would. On top of which, since we are proposing to renovate a regional pond, the owner has agreed to take on the maintenance responsibility themselves and take the maintenance off of Manassas Park. So that will be done by deed and by a stormwater management agreement. So that will be whoever owns that property will have to take care of that facility. The facility is designed for very easy maintenance. The way that it works is all of the water coming into this underground detention facility goes through what's called an isolator row, and all of the trash, all of the phosphorus, everything that's needs to be improved water quality-wise resides just in this chamber. You take a vac truck and just suck it out, and that's it. And that's the only maintenance part of the facility that's required. So I feel confident that this particular plan and the facility will function better than today. And so ultimately what we're proposing is to kind of clean up the site, make it meet current requirements, and hopefully everyone agrees with me. So anyone have any questions?
Questions for applicant? No questions. Thank you.
Thank you. Did you want to say anything? Did you guys want to say anything?
I thought you did a great job.
Okay, thank you.
I mean, informally, I just want to say that we've been,
If you don't mind, please, thank you. Use your name and affiliation. Thank you.
My name is Jay Klebanoff, and I'm the CEO of Hercules Fence, and was around in 1994 when we first built this facility, and so we've been there for 29 years, and it's functioned very well for most of that time, and then my son, Noah Klebanoff, took over running that facility about 3 years ago, and now we've outgrown it after all these years. He's doing too good a job. So we want to stay in Manassas Park. And this is a great opportunity to improve the property, improve the building, improve the streetscape, and improve the pond and the water management. So I think there's a lot of wins here.
Very good.
So anyway, just thank you for your time.
Oh, thank you for coming. Appreciate it. Then at this time, we'll have staff input. Administrator Barry.
Thank you. Mr. Carls did such a wonderful job explaining the project and site plan that I'm not going to dwell on my presentation, but just kind of highlight from our regulatory perspective and the zoning perspective. Okay, so I'm just going to go through some of the slides because he covered this quite well. Here from a zoning perspective, you can see everything in orange is zoned I-1, which is industrial. And PF is where the Manassas Park City Schools are. As he said, it is in an industrial area with the exception of the school. However, that's really the sports fields of the, I believe it's the high school, but I'm assuming it could have multiple uses from the different schools. And I just wanted to highlight from this perspective where the existing dry pond is. He did cover the location and showed more detail on the pond and a good reason why it should probably be replaced and upgraded. And so I believe that's it. Just real quick, here are all the zoning parameters. The site plan has been reviewed by me and does meet all the minimum zoning requirements as stated on the screen. We do send it out also for engineering review, and it meets all the minimum engineering standards, including stormwater and erosion sediment control. I think that's really it. So as staff, we are recommending that the Planning Commission recommend to the zoning administrator approval of the site plan number 2302, a Hercules fence. We initially as staff declined their offer to put in a underground system, given the fact that it was one of our ponds that we maintain. But after getting together with the city attorney and Public Works and Alan from Public Works, we decided if they were willing to take on the maintenance responsibility, there was nothing to preclude us from doing that, provided they have the appropriate maintenance agreements and deeds and easements. I do believe that they will have to send the city a report about every 5 years about their maintenance upkeep for that. I think that will be in I'm pretty sure it is in the maintenance agreement, so we will be able to make sure that that's being done. I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Questions for Administrator Barry? Commissioner Mensing?
What action will we have available to take if I'm sure they'll take fantastic care of the stormwater, but say they don't, say there's a problem with the stormwater pond, what recourse will we have? Will we be able to go in and do it ourselves?
Yes, that's typically part of the maintenance agreement, that it does give us right to access and maintain the facility, and I believe bill that to the property owner.
And do we have, can we inspect it? Say the neighbor's complaining about some drainage, or can we go in and inspect it if there are complaints, or?
Well, typically the onus is on the property owner, so we
Okay.
would, if that is the case, I think we would ask them
Sure.
to cooperate, and I think they're only obligated to do maintenance and inspections every 5 years, but that's how we would approach it if there was an issue. That we would work with the property owner, and if it was a discharge at some point, and we do have those regulations in place where we could, go in and work cooperatively with them to address an issue.
Okay, great, thank you.
Other questions? Okay. Very good. Thank you. Great, so at this time, other questions for the applicant or for the city staff, then we'll go ahead and, unless there's any discussion, I will offer a motion. Okay. So I will offer a motion to recommend to the zoning administrator for approval, SP number 23-02, Hercules fence. Is there a motion?
Moved.
Motion, second?
Second.
Second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries unanimously. Thank you very much. Appreciate you coming this evening. You're welcome. We have no unfinished business, no report of special committees, and informational update from community development staff. Administrator Barry?
Thank you. There are a few items I would like to share with the commission that are upcoming in the city and other zoning-related matters. First of all, there is going to be a community cleanup at Costello Park on Saturday, September 16th from 9 to noon. They will be cleaning up the park as well as the adjacent street. So I encourage everybody to pitch in and do some cleanup there. The next event will be a fire department open house that's occurring on Saturday, October 7th from 10 to 2. That will be at the fire station on Manassas Drive. And as you can see, I wanted to just highlight the fact that the plaza is being used and scheduled now on a regular basis. Currently, today, we have the farmers market, but we do have what's termed Workout Wednesday, which is an early workout. I believe it's yoga or the other, I can't,
Zumba.
yes, Pilates or Zumba. I couldn't think of what I was going to say, jazzercise, it'll date me. Anyway, as well as last Fridays. So it is very encouraging to see our downtown coming to life with these activities, as well as the new restaurants that we do believe will be coming in soon, since they have their permits and are working towards opening. And one of the other items I wanted to mention is we did receive requests for proposals for our housing needs assessment, and we intend to look at those proposals and award a contract by September 29th. And I'm part of the review committee, and I'm happy to do so. I believe that this information will help inform the comprehensive plan for our housing chapter. So I am looking forward to the results and analysis of it, so we can incorporate many of the information we get from that plan into our comprehensive plan. And then lastly, I'm going to just turn it over to Calvin, because there's an achievement that he wanted to mention about our culverts in the city, so I'm just going to hand it over to him.
Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. Calvin O'Dell, Director of Community Development. I just wanted to let the Planning Commission know, everybody remembers, COVID wasn't our only problem. In 2020 and 2021, we had a massive culvert failure over at the Mosby Ridge subdivision, and we were able to get that project accomplished quickly and actually under budget. But shortly thereafter, the following year, the chair of this commission noticed a sinkhole on the side of Manassas Drive down below the railroad tracks that turned out to be a almost $900,000 culvert repair and road restoration project. And that put us very much in the singular focus for the past couple years, because we had 4 barrels of culverts in 2 locations under Railroad Drive that were in critical need of repair, that were about as bad as a bridge report could get. And we also had Russia Branch under Manassas Drive that was in a state of doom and gloom, almost failure. And we were able to get the railroad culverts restored this winter. I don't think many people noticed. I know Commissioner Mensing noticed. And I said something to Commission at the time that was sort of work going on under the radar. You can't see them when they're under there cleaning out culverts and spraying shotcrete on them. You just see some cones and trucks parked up top. But we also were able to get another emergency procurement in place and get the culverts under Manassas Drive, Russia Branch passing through Manassas Drive. They were mobilized to the site. I'm sure people saw equipment. They turned a portion of Mr. Barrow's property into a large gravel lot to stage from, and I think all that's left down there now is a dumpster, and that's because the project is completed except for the removing of some spoils that are still blocking one of the culvert barrels. But the culverts themselves have been reinforced. The voids that were in the soil from any soil migration filled with grout, and then the culverts actually coated, lined to VDOT standards. And the big holdup there was meeting those VDOT standards, going through VDOT engineers for several months to get them to agree on a design. But that is 9 culvert barrels in 4 locations that we have restored or rehabilitated, or replaced or rehabilitated, to the tune of $5.4 million. But fortunately, the city has only spent a little over $1 million out of pocket in this effort, thanks to ARPA funds and VDOT money. So we're in a very good place now. We have 2 culvert projects left on our radar, but they're nowhere near the condition that these culverts were in. But we're not going to take any chances, and we've already got vendors out there looking at those culverts and getting ready to attack those. So I just wanted to let everybody know that, it may still look the same when you pass over Manassas Drive. We did have to remove some curb and gutter, excavate, and put some suitable fill in there, but we will get that resurfaced, get the curb and gutter put back. But the culverts underneath are now completely rehabilitated.
Great, thank you. Okay. Very good. Thank you very much. We appreciate the updates. And is it too early for me to say, shall we adjourn? Is there a motion to adjourn?
Moved.
Motion, second?
Second.
Second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries unanimously. The time is 7:25.
Short meeting?
It's not a record, but it's close.
No, it's close. It's very good. There we go. You did it this good.